So in today's video, we will look at the third aspect of your aptitude test and the shape and form it will come in, and some of the questions that you may be asked to assess your behavior or to assess your readiness for the nursing career. So if you're interested, let's dive right into it. In the first part of this series, we looked at aptitude tests, we looked at what it is, and some of the tests that are under aptitude tests that relate to nursing. I'll link the playlist at the end of the video so that in case you missed it, you can watch to catch up, okay? So under the aptitude test that we looked at the verbal reasoning test, numerical reasoning test, and in today's video, we'll look at the situational judgment test or the behavioral test. Now, why do they do situational judgment test or behavioral test? This test is done to assess your personality, to assess how you fit or function at the workplace. You know, nurses in Ghana, we don't go for job interviews. You go for a nursing interview, you get admission, you finish your training, you get your license, the next thing is posting. We don't do job interview. So with the situational judgment test, they want to look at your personality. Are you a team player? Can you work well as a nurse? How is your behavior? How is the way you talk? Are you respectful? And this one is not a written test that you'll be writing. This one will be assessed during the interview itself, during the face-to-face interview, when you are seated in front of the panelists, okay? So it will come in the shape of questions about you, how you feel about something, what you would do. So when they start the question like with what will you do if, then you know it's a situational judgment test or it's a behavioral test, okay? Or tell us about a time something happened to you and how you solved that problem. With your answer, they can deduce the kind of person you are and how you fit into the nursing career or into the nursing job. So let's look at some sample questions that you may be asked to assess your behavior or how you handle situations in the workplace, okay? Question number 1, they can ask you, what will you do if a patient or a family member threatens you? With this one, there are many instances in health or especially in the hospital where patients are aggressive, maybe because they are delirious or confused, they don't know, they've lost orientation to time and place, so they are just aggressive because they seem to be lost. Those ones are there. Or patients are angry at you because they feel like you should be treating them in a way that you are not treating them. And especially most of the aggressiveness comes from family members. You know, they come to the hospital, the relatives seem to be in a dire condition and they feel like you should be rushing on them, you should be rushing on that relative and doing all the actions that they've been seeing in the movies. And so when they are not seeing that, they feel like you are not doing enough. So they tend to be aggressive and threaten you. If my family member dies, you see what I'll do to you. Or they feel like you've not treated them fairly. So we are you do you know who I am? Do you know where I'm coming from? You know, that kind of situation. So in that situation, what are you going to do? It's good to answer it honestly. Like, honestly, what will you do? Okay, so you can give a response like, if I were ever in a situation where a patient or family member is intentionally violent or threatening, I would stay calm and try to de-escalate the situation. And if I am unable to, then I would follow any protocols that are in place for handling these kinds of situations, which may include calling my colleagues to come and help and calling management or security. But I will never retaliate against any patient or family member. Okay? You can't retaliate or punish clients because their family members have threatened you. No, it's unethical. You can't do it. So you have to add that part for them to know that what will be bunny. Okay, this is just an example of what you can do. So you look at it yourself and see what will you do if truly on the ward somebody is threatening you. Yeah, do you know who I am? What will you do? Okay. Another question you can be asked to assess your behavior can be, what will you do if you have a conflict with your professor? Oh my God, this one is juicy. I remember in nursing school, one of our tutors came to class. I can't remember what actually happened, and the tutor was just so angry. He was yelling at us, and you didn't do this. And then my friend was like, "Oh, nyamema wabotsre." Lord of Jesus, nyamema mi wabotsre. God should give me patience. Hela. Oh, what's in the dream? So conflicts are bound to happen, maybe because of something you did, a misunderstanding happens, or when you went for clinicals, or there is an argument over your grade. You feel like you did better, but the tutor or the professor didn't give you the appropriate mark. What will you do? So this is how I will handle this question. I'll say, I believe the most important process in resolving conflicts with anyone is communication. So I think talking respectfully with my professor and that a more calm atmosphere is a great way to get a sense of why the conflict has begun. If I feel uncomfortable bringing up or sharing my concerns with my professor, then I will speak with the tutor in charge of guidance and counseling or any other tutor that can help me approach this problem. This is how I would approach it. You can leave in the comment section what you would say in regards to this, okay? Another question is, what will you do if you find yourself struggling in a nursing course? By the time we were finishing nursing, we did about 36 courses. Like, is that packed and loaded? So it's easy for you to find some of the courses difficult. So what will you do? This one is up to you. But I think an appropriate answer would be, if I ever find myself struggling with any course, I'll do these 3 things to see if it will make things better for me. The first thing I'll do is to allocate more study time to the course, to study more books around the course subject. The other thing I can do is to liaise with my colleagues who are doing well with the course for help and study with them. Or if things are still not going well, I can also ask my tutor or professor for assistance. Okay, so something like that. For the last 2 questions, I'll leave them to you to answer because this one will be person specific, okay? So one, tell us about a time you failed. For this question, whatever the scenario or the story you choose should be something that you have already finished resolving, okay? So that it won't be like you failed and that was it, you left it like that. No. So for example, maybe you failed your WASI exam, one subject in your WASI exam. So you sat home, you studied hard because now you know that you needed that subject to be able to apply for nursing. So you studied hard and you made that grade better. So either from F9 to B3. That's a good example you can cite for tell us about a time you failed. And the next question is, what is your proudest achievement to date? So up until now, what have you experienced in your life or what have you done in your life that you feel is the highest form of achievement you've done? It could be you started a small business, you did something in church. Look for moments in your life that when you refer, like when you remember, it makes you so proud and makes you smile. Then you tell that story, okay? So this is the form your behavioral and situational judgment test will take in your nursing interview. Now, if you've not seen the verbal reasoning, which is the English aspect of your nursing interview exams, click on this video to watch. And if you've not seen the mathematical aspect, click on this video to watch, and I'll see you there. Until then, my name is Selase. I'm a registered nurse here in Ghana, and I wish you all the best in your nursing interview. Bye.